Welcome to another exciting episode. I'm Lyn Vargas.
Keith Maximilian.
Karolina Sankiewicz.
Austin Keene.
We have some special guests in the house today. I didn't even think in my wildest dreams I would have Karolina from Dubai
Hello.
and Austin Keene together. Both pro wake surfers in town together at the same time. Karolina decided I asked her, would you? Austin said, hey, I know Karolina. You want to meet her? I'm like, absolutely. So you get to watch these two collaborate today on the set before they collaborate on the water. So how did you?
I never thought that we would be here in, Southern California doing a podcast together before we met on a boat.
Exactly,
It's crazy.
right?
So how did you two meet?
Well, we met through a mutual friend, of mine, Eric, Miami. We actually haven't even met.
Yeah.
so-
This is your
This
first
is the
time.
first time we
We
met.
made video of you first meeting.
Yeah, my friend Eric is like, oh, Karolina's in LA. You guys should totally do like a cool video together. And then you mentioned coming on the podcast, and I was like, well, wait, actually, Karolina would be like super cool for like your podcast. And
Right.
just to like connect you guys, I thought it would be like a really
That was
good
amazing.
fit. And yeah, here we are.
So you're a world champion skimboarder, and you're a wake surfer in Dubai, and you surf with brands on, super elegant. I mean, I'm talking
Heels.
breakfast at Tiffany clothes.
Yeah.
And you do tricks and trades, and then she, today I've had her all day, literally on Girl Talk.
I think we kidnapped
Yeah.
her.
I know, I did it
did,
wrong.
yes.
I mean,
We kidnapped her because she has all these outfit changes because you're here for a Four Seasons
Campaign I was
What
doing.
is that now?
So I was doing like a surfing campaign, so like for spa, restaurants. So because I surf in like elegant with the champagne, always heels, super fancy. So like I'm putting a cream.
You surf with all these outfits on
Yes.
with heels. That's your like
and always
MO.
dry.
wow.
Have you ever fallen? Have you ever biffed it?
On purpose
Oh,
only.
but never,
yeah,
like,
for
just-
bloopers. No. I know I'm gonna be dry always. So yeah.
That's crazy.
But I need Austin to wear some, some suits, maybe some cake,
Tuxedo.
ironing board.
I'm all about it.
Collaboration,
No,
right?
I'm saying like, why did I
Imagine.
waste all this time trying to learn how to do a 540 shove it?
Exactly.
When I could just have been modeling
Yeah.
suits.
Yeah.
Dolce & Gabbana on a surfboard
mean-
with a cigar. What do you do
Yeah.
with a cigar?
Well, sometimes you
Some
got to pivot
cognac.
in your career, Elizabeth, and that's what I'm learning in life right now. And this is a very good example.
Yeah.
With Dubai might be the new modeling mecca
New
for
spot,
Austin
yeah,
Keene.
for you.
Yeah,
Spraying perfumes, while doing your flips and other things,
there we go.
Yeah.
Hey, we could do a little bit of
around
both.
her while she's on the laptop.
Yeah.
So just so the audience knows, you went viral for your first video, which was a laptop. You were on a surfboard
In heels.
in
yeah,
heels. They were boots to here,
Yeah, they were
right?
over the knee boots, yeah.
Rubber black boots with white glasses on, and
Yeah.
literally I saw that video. And then when I heard you sent me her Instagram, you're like, yeah, you should meet. I went, no way. So my thought was, it's so interesting because she wants to have a collaboration with you, and the fact that you're collaborating on the set is so fabulous.
I know.
But so give me some ideas of your first shoot. Like, what do you think you guys could do?
I mean,
real, like
I'm
for real.
gonna put this
'Cause I want
one.
to make this happen.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
put this one in Carolina's court.
Yes.
She's definitely
creative.
She's got the creative on this
For
side.
sure, there will be cake, guys. For sure, there will be
Or
ironing
Stevie
board.
Aoki.
Oh,
We
yeah.
need Stevie
It's all-
Aoki
And
and
it will
cake.
be a very big cake, not a small. This is Austin. He's not
She's
going to be getting
Stevie
Stevie
Aoki.
Aoki cake.
She's
He's
mentioned
gonna
this
have
cake and
a
ironing
lot.
board like 4
Do you have a
times.
fetish
and
for
I don't-
cake?
I don't know where she's going
Where's
for
the
it.
ironing
Going
board?
with
I'm
it,
confused
but-
with
No,
that.
he's going to have ironing board. He will be ironing a little bit,
See, now,
Wait, he's the man. You're just getting me
I'll
ironing.
be there just maybe standing
feel-
and he'll be there ironing,
I think she's just trying to get me to do her
Whoa,
chores
whoa.
out in Dubai.
Or we'll be just changing.
You're the
First,
pool boy,
I will
Austin.
iron,
You're the pool
then
boy.
he will iron, yes.
You're gonna be
We'll
changing your
switch.
clothes.
You know what'd be really cool though? Is
Yeah.
like, say she's got like she's got her whole gig up. He you flip over her and she tosses you a beer or something.
I mean, we could.
that would be insane.
Yeah, I'll have to come out for a week because there's
You
probably a
have
million
to.
videos.
And
we could
Dubai
do.
is your place. Everyone
Yeah.
loves him, by the way. Like, he's just the best thing ever.
Oh,
And,
so
wake
he's popular in
surfing-
Dubai.
Yeah, like wake surfing is really big in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. They even opened this new fake wave. I don't know what is it
Oh,
called.
wave pool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
they
The Kelly
always
Slater
bring in
actually
people. So this is the spot for him. He must go there, and I'll hook you up.
I must.
You
Yes.
It must.
okay,
Done.
so we were talking earlier on an earlier podcast about just Dubai and how the heck, how'd you get into wake surfing in Dubai?
I mean, I used to live in Hawaii, so I love surfing, but I'm not like Austin. I'm just like normal random surfer, like I'm struggling surfer. But then I started to do this wake surfing just out of fun because I love wake surfing, like the passion for it. And then the ideas come.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
how
you
I
realize
started.
like, you know, wake surfing, you can just like turn the wave on and get up. It's like super easy just to kind of manufacture.
He's like, it's like the dumbed
Super
down
easy.
surfing version.
Well,
You
no,
just
I mean,
like
that's the beauty of it is like you can teach anybody how to wake surf in like 10 or 15 minutes. And then when
Yeah.
you start doing it consistently, like Karolina has, now she's like, her balance is so good. Now she can do like all these cool, fun, creative videos.
How are you getting off the boat in those
I
heels? though?
slide.
You
slide
put the board
down.
on the boat and
Yeah.
then slide the board off
Yeah.
the boat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was like, because she's wearing
Interesting.
heels. How do you, I mean,
And then I also
it's
slide
gotta be
You
a-
know
back.
what? That's one thing I never even really
And
thought
I
of.
slide back.
How do you
How
get,
does she
how do
do
you
it?
get up? How do you start?
That
Yeah.
would be a good video because I was always curious on how you actually got onto the board.
Yeah.
'Cause
She
I
doesn't
wake-
want to
I
give
wake
away her
surfing.
secrets.
Exactly, guys. I
She's
just
like
spilled the tea.
helicopter drawn on
This is
this
confidential
she has 6
information.
guys that are like,
board.
Yeah, placing her on the
Which
water.
that's why I think people thought it was CGI is because it was so unrealistic to like
Yeah,
get
and
up on a
try.
board like that. Like, but it's real. I mean, it's crazy. It looks so CGI on it.
yeah.
And then I slide back on a boat.
So would you have? So do guys? Anyone that you've dated, like, had they encouraged that whole thing, or is it always?
So-
been,
do they like it?
So it's a funny thing. One time I was dating this Brazilian guy and I took him surfing.
In
This is
Dubai?
actually, in Dubai. This is actually good tester kind of take them wake surfing. And I took them wake surfing.
Instead of golf like
Is
you.
it-
And then I take him and poor thing falling down all the time. And he's like, oh, you know what? If I would be trying more, for sure I'll be better than you. I'm like, what? Cut him out right away, you know?
Already got a big ego, huh?
Yeah, men are very competitive, you
Yeah.
know? And it's like, just enjoy fun. Like I bring a lot of people because always, and also like celebrities in Dubai, from US sometimes come. I bring them for fun because the vibe is just so nice. I have like the best team in Dubai. So we go near Burj Arab, you know, there's a music, you can bring drinks. It's just so much fun.
So what's the Brazilian doing in
I'm
Dubai?
sold.
First off, that's my question. What's a hot Brazilian doing in Dubai?
Yeah, he was nice, but you'll see now.
Okay,
But,
so because Dubai is pretty reserved for dating.
that's,
so
what,
yeah.
that's what I would thought. I thought
Yeah.
you can't drink in Dubai. There's no like bars.
Whoa,
right?
whoa,
There
whoa.
are
no
bars,
hotel?
yeah. You
You're
can.
not-
he's
he's
like,
like, wait,
I don't know if
I'm
I'm
not
coming.
going
Like,
Yeah, I'm kidding. I thought
I can't
you
get
were
a
not allowed to do
margarita.
that. So, hold on. I
I'm
thought it was
done.
only in hotels that they had that.
you can do hotels, bar, and restaurants. You cannot do like in public. There's no shops like you go
okay.
to
There's no liquor
supermarket
stores.
and get. Yeah,
Oh, but you can go to a restaurant. And
yeah,
have
you
it.
can get
Oh.
and you can drink. So it's no problem. Yeah, yeah.
She said, no, most people can't drink. She's like, you can drink
Could you,
with me.
imagine, could you imagine her going out on a date? She's like, I'm going to take you wake surfing. And the guy's like, I can wake surf, you know? And, like, and so he's out there
Brazilian,
struggling to get up. And she's like, hold my beer. she's
She's like, here, could you
Yeah.
iron this? I'll be
Yes.
right back.
I had one guy. He fell down. He come out. And he's like, "How did I do?" And there's a blood coming. I say, "You did great." He hit the board. He hit the board with his head. You know,
That's
poor
funny.
guy. You know.
No, but it's so
Trying to keep it together for you.
I'm fine. It's like his arms hanging off.
but you know, it takes really good, I mean, athleticism and balance.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
your core must be just, I mean, I saw you, I mean, I'm not a, you know, I'm just
Whoa.
like,
Where are we going with that, Liz?
okay, this woman's got a
I've
body
seen
on
her
her.
change. She
God
looks
dang. Oh my God. Well, no, because you got to have strength and athleticism to wake surf, wakeboard, surf in general. Like water
Yeah.
sports is really much so a balancing act.
How about
And-
the 8-inch heels? Like that's
and
a more
then
of
to
a
do it
balancing
in
act
8
than
inches
anything.
and stiletto boots, I'm like, hot,
Like
hot.
stilts. I want to see stilts.
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 What
Like,
are
like,
stilts?
like stilts.
Stilts
those
are like
little-
crutches. That's
Wow.
weird. That's a
We
weird
gotta
thing. No,
That's
so
it.
so in California, where do you wake surf at?
Well, we have a little spot called Carl's.
Can you tell everybody?
It's a secret spot.
Is it a secret spot?
Not a lot of people go there. We like to keep it that way.
Except for on the
Oh,
pod.
yeah. But it's down in North County, San Diego. It's like a little saltwater lagoon, and it's really not the most ideal spot because it's tide dependent. So you have to go at high tide to get enough depth.
Is there a creek leak?
Huh?
Is there a creek leak?
A creek leak? I mean, technically, yeah.
Remember
That's it. Technically, there's an estuary that goes out into the ocean, so that it's tide dependent. So it's not the ideal spot, but you know, nobody goes there, and it's fun. It's right by the beach. I don't have to go like inland to the desert to go wake surf. It's pretty cool.
We got, like,
keep
Paris
my
and, like,
mastercraft
right?
there, and
You go Lake Paris and stuff, right?
I don't ever go there. Usually, it's like I keep my mastercraft right at the lagoon, and then if I'm traveling all the time for wake surfing, so honestly, I wake surf more out of state than I do at home.
Where do you live?
Dana Point.
Dana Point. Oh no.
What's the address?
Yeah. And I shower at.
Do you brush your teeth? No, so do you take, okay, now I was watching online that you do, and I've already interviewed you before on a podcast, but it was like a logical, like businessman podcast, and it was more serious. But how did you go from, so you're from Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you end up in California. I want to get a little bit into your history because lives in Dubai. She's here. You're from Georgia.
Yeah.
And you end up here.
I actually want to learn too about your story as well, just like how you end up in Dubai, how anybody ends up in Dubai. Really.
Well, you're going to learn it in a minute.
There's two reasons.
Maybe you're gonna end up soon in Dubai.
It's crazy her story, and your story is not anywhere near her story. So your story is that, you came from Georgia, and then you ended up, you're a two-time GoPro challenge winner with the
correct.
GoPro.
Yeah.
The $1 million challenge.
Yeah, but I didn't win $1 million.
The girls are like, damn, they're halfway to Dana Point right now.
Yeah, fake news. But you also have a really great history in the success in your field. You were sponsored by Mastercraft at one point, or are you still sponsored by them?
Still working with Mastercraft Boats, best wakeboard boat manufacturer out there.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to get for her. I mean, she needs a wakeboard sponsor, a wakeboard boat sponsor.
Yeah, they should do.
We have Mastercraft in Dubai.
Yeah. Do you have Mastercraft in Dubai?
Yeah.
Really?
Mastercraft's global.
Yeah,
they have
we
in
do.
Switzerland. I mean, all over.
They're everywhere. Yeah.
So you're going to get okay. So you started. Okay, fast forward about brands in both places, Dubai and America. It seems like Dubai is really opening up to a lot of Westernization, right? So they've got a lot of obviously if you can wake surf in stilettos, Dubai is pretty open right now.
Yeah.
It's like open for business. So I was talking to Austin, and he was saying, he's got these vitamin bars. And so he launched this company. It's doing really, really well. Your distribution is everywhere.
Yep.
I'm very proud of you. This is phenomenal. And they're great bars.
It's a slow moving ship,
Yeah.
but everything's moving up. And that was just like, in the past with my skimboard career, right? I was like, hey, if things are going this way, then you just keep going.
Yeah.
There's no reason to put it in reverse if
Keep
it's
the
going
trajectory.
up. So
No.
things are going really well. We teamed up with Mike Melvin. He's the founder of Casamigos. So
Yeah.
he's helping us get into all the Discovery properties, and people are loving them at all the properties. which is
They're all
great.
golfers.
I mean, we're doing tons of reorders.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian absolutely loved them. She tasted every flavor.
Oh,
and she
good.
gave us her stamp of approval on flavor and ingredients.
Oh.
And she's big on ingredients. So
Yeah.
she's very particular.
And you
about
taught
it.
her how to wake surf recently.
Yes.
Kim
yes, that
Kardashian
was
wake
awesome.
surfing. Come on.
Did she get
Wow.
out?
That was
Did
probably
she
like one of the most
Yeah.
because I do these demos all the time where I
Yeah.
go like people will pay me to come hang out and wake surf with their family.
Yeah.
Or like we'll do a celebrity surf series, right? And I'm like, I usually kind of just break the ice by like doing my little run first. And I kind of just do my thing, do my like standard little trick run or whatever. And this time with Kim, I was like really nervous, I really did not want to screw
Really?
up. I was like all the small easy tricks. I was like, dude, like my heart rate was a little bit elevated, and I was just like, I just don't want her to think like you.
This
Like
is a Kardashian. I gotta get
yeah,
this right.
I had to like make sure that she knew that she was with a professional. So
Power of the Kardashians.
yeah, and everything went really well, and
And I saw the picture. She looked good up there, though.
Yeah.
she really
She
impressed
did
me. Like,
good.
yeah, she impressed me just overall, like her whole vibe, and then also just like her talent on the board.
Yeah.
She was very athletic. She was at her trainer that morning, so it's like she wasn't
Yeah.
like having a slow, easy
Well, look
day.
at the Kardashians. They all train. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Like all they do is train. Kim doesn't drink, I don't think, very much, and neither does Courtney. None of those girls drink. So I mean, she was probably like up at 4 a.m. waiting for you. Like,
Totally.
I'm ready. Austin, where are you?
And
Give
I
me a
was like
bar.
being super careful and cautious
Yeah.
with her, and she was like, just so you know, you don't think I'm that strong, but I'm pretty strong. I should don't quote me on that, but it was like something like that.
Put
like,
you on blast. Like, I'm not a
she's
wimp.
like, I'm actually pretty strong. And I was like, okay. And I was just like, in my head, I'm just like, I don't want to be the guy that hurts Kim Kardashian right now.
She falls over her side. She's got a side. She's got like a wakeboard or a surfboard
print on her face. Yeah, it's like, oh my god.
Like there's master
See,
craft.
yeah, like I want to make sure she gets up, drops the rope, but I also don't want to get hurt. Or whatever.
Did she eat a bar before she went and wake surf? So that's what these are for, is to kind of eat on the run, right?
Yes, we're gonna go with yes on that one. Vitamin bar can make you wake surf first time.
Wow.
Well, no, because I would think that why you created this was because you're like eating on the go, and you guys are up in the morning. How early do wake surfers wake up? Are you guys like the early bird surfers?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a little smorgasbord of everything. So I'm a skimboarder, wake surfer. I don't know what category I fall into.
You're like
action water sports guy.
I just feed he's got. That's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, I get up at 7 a.m. Yeah,
that's not bad.
Not super early.
Usually on like some busy places, you got to get up pretty early to get some glass, right?
Yeah, for surfing in the ocean, definitely like before 10, 11 a.m. like is going to be the prime opportunity to get no wind. Same for wake surfing, really.
Yeah.
But tides and swell, like not everything's happening at 10 a.m. Wake surfing, you can go on the lake 9 a.m. It's going to be the same.
Have you kiteboarded?
So I just learned how to kite over the past few years in Turks and Caicos. I have a really good buddy out there. He runs Aqua Charters. He's born and raised on the island, pro kiteboarder. He does the most amazing charters out there. And he taught me how to kite. And it's just, I absolutely love it. Because
you know what kiteboarding is, right? You see them out there.
You have a big kite.
Outside your beach house. They're like,
The big kite, the
like
huge
50 feet up.
50 feet up. Okay, so that's kiteboarding.
So my favorite is kite foiling. So you're actually like on a foil with the kite because it allows you with the foil to be able to kite in lower wind than you normally would.
I've heard of kite foiling, so I've never heard of kite boarding or kite.
So kiteboarding.
You've probably heard of foiling, and you probably heard of kiteboard. If you saw both of them, you'd know.
No, I know the big
fin in the water.
Just so you know, I'm from Missouri, the Midwest. We have dirt and riverboat casinos. We have dirt boarding. I went to Dubai though, and I went sandboarding. So I went down. They took me up. I was on a camel. They let me off.
I saw it. I did that in.
It was fun.
I've always wanted to do it in Dubai, and then one year
it was amazing. By the way, it's scarier than shit.
We had this idea to go to Pismo, and they had those dunes out there. And one year, we went out there, and like I took my skimboard down the dunes. That was fun.
It was fun. Wow. No, but these are big dunes. Like
I know those look
these guys have big Jeeps and they take you to the top. You look down like this is no joke. It's like a black diamond.
You're like dragged, or you just slide down.
You literally just so I snowboard. So it's like I just went down. They like let you go, but I wanted a wide board because you got to have a wide board. You can't just have you have to really have the right board. So I tried the little bump, and then they took me all the way to the top. I was like, they're like, yeah, you're ready. Took me to the top. Just literally let me go, and I hauled ass as if you were on a black diamond. You're like, yeah, it's fucking baller. And then all of a sudden they create hills. It's just like snowboarding.
Yeah.
Like if I was in Montana at Yellowstone, just going down the slope, it's just perfect.
The camel sits there and laughs at you when you fall.
but then as soon as I did it, as soon as I got to the bottom, it's not like you go down and there's like a chairlift. Yeah. You just bite it.
Have you
There's
done
no
that?
way to end.
I tried with the surfboard, but because it has the fin, it's not really going fast.
Yeah,
it's
but did you do it without the fin?
Without the fin?
I tried, but it's not going too fast.
Really?
Oh, you got to go where they took me, which is like
speed.
Straight up. Yeah.
You need to get it slick.
So here's what we should do: is you should go to his little lake. Where's that? Your
we'll
little
do
section.
next time once I'm in
next time.
California.
She's got limited time now, but
Yeah.
I think honestly, before she comes back out here, I'll probably be in Dubai. Yeah. We got Vitamin Bar launching in Dubai very soon.
That's what you said.
Yeah, by coincidence, it's kind of random, but like we have a great distributor out there that's kind of getting us in a bunch of stores. So
that's amazing.
And Dubai is like
we've
the
been
best
wanting
market.
to make we've been wanting to have a reason to come out there anyway. I mean, we have a reason with Vitamin Bar, but we're like
Well, now you have a reason.
I know.
See, this collaboration, you collaborate, you help me, and this is
great.
Like,
now I got like a wake surf contact out there.
Yeah,
and we'll have some fun, make some cool contact.
We can do
content with Vitamin Bar. And, yeah.
So Austin won the GoPro challenge with his videography skills, and so you obviously you always have people following you with videography of videographers, and so do you. So creating content for the internet is you always have to be creating, right? I mean, be trending, TikTok trending or whatever. And you have almost 1 million followers. You guys almost have the same amount of followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know
she's
this,
got
right?
way more than me, I think, right?
No,
I don't know.
I think not.
Similar,
Like
yeah.
50,000 more. I think
Okay.
60,000. Don't worry, I'm counting.
Who's counting?
452.
150,000.
And actually, somebody just unfollowed you today, Austin.
No, but what is it like, Karolina, to be in Dubai and try and find, because we're in California and it's easy to create content, to be a pop culture trending icon on the internet. I mean, you're trending, like you're everywhere. So how did you feel when you started? First off, where did you find your videographer? Because that's not really accepted in Dubai to be like a wake surfer as a girl in high heels. Then to find a videographer that knows how to do it on a boat.
How'd you get the content?
How did you get the content?
How'd you get that?
So actually, it's an interesting story because I rescue cats in Dubai.
You rescue cats. Yes, you have a rescue.
Yes,
Animal
I have a
rescue.
rescue. And I met this one Iranian lady and I took a lot of cats. I helped her recall some cats. And she told me, oh, my videographer, Mariam, she's really good. She should do video for you. And I got my first paid fashion brand. And then I say, okay, let's do it. And that time also the Barbie movie was coming out in US. So then we filmed this paid project. And then I say, okay, for fun, let's do Barbie. And Barbie went like all over the world, like TikTok, 60 million views. And it was like then Dubai Barbie surfer. So since that, I just have her. She's doing all my videos and then she knows the angles. She knows everything. And I have so many videographers.
You found your videographer.
Yeah, messaging me. I'll do for free videos for you. I'll do this. And I say, no, I only work with her. So even when I get clients and they say, okay, we have a videographer. I say, no, this is my videographer.
I have Luke.
Yeah.
You're not leaving.
Yeah, she's so good.
Locked
Yeah.
in the closet.
Yeah.
I mean,
she
do
knows
you
the
ever do
angles.
videos with just like a phone?
like,
on
Yeah,
it?
I do with the phone. Yeah.
No, and then so you found videographers that follow you everywhere.
Yeah, I got guys that, I don't know, I got to pay them.
Oh,
Yeah. I pay my also.
Lucky.
Yeah.
No, everybody, to be fair, my point of bringing this up is that I know that sponsorships and people and both of you, this industry is so tough. And to be able to go viral like both of you did, I mean, you worked your balls off.
Yeah,
Can I say
they're
that?
still here though, just for the record.
And you worked your girl balls off. And
True.
and and Keith and I, Keith owns Cryo Innovations, so he's business, and we all work really, really hard at our brands and trying to get it out there. And the four of us are sitting here and we have great brands, right? But it's hard. It's not easy. And so tell everybody. So tell Austin really quick your history. So she's actually your school.
Oh yeah, so I have an MBA in international business. So basically my background is like 15 years in corporate. So I used to work for investment, oil and gas. So surfing was just for passion, was never for money. So when I used to live in Hawaii for 5 years, exchange student, then I met this guy, Saudi guy. He's like,
You met a guy.
yeah, and
This
it
is
was
always
like
a story.
love,
I
and he's
met
like,
a guy.
oh, come to Dubai with me, all this stuff. And that was like 15 years ago. So my mom was like, oh, he's going to kidnap you. He's going to put a bio on you, My sister was
Which
like,
is valid.
That's one of the two
it is
reasons you
valid.
go to Dubai, right?
Keith,
And
is
then-
that not valid?
yeah. Then my sister was like, he only wants your passport and stuff. I say, why Polish
What's he
passport?
gonna do with your passport?
And you're from Poland originally.
He
She's
wanted
from Poland
Polish
originally.
passports. So then I went to Dubai with him. And in a few years, he became very controlling. Oh, don't wear this. Don't look like this. Why so much tattoos? No, this guy's looking this. So then I broke up with him. And then I
Can I
decided
see
to
your
stay.
tattoo real quick? Let me see your arm.
And they're Hawaiian. It's Hawaiian flowers.
that's
And then
cool.
it's in
Gorgeous.
Hawaii. It says
Yeah.
strive to reach the highest. It's a lot in Hawaiian.
But you were there with a family, a
Yeah,
host family.
Yeah, I used to live there for 5 years. So then in Dubai, I always had a job that was paid as 9 to 5. And then wake surfing was just my passion, my free time. People go party, I would go surfing. And then we started to do these videos, went viral, and then I started monetize. I started like, dude, this
Your
is my
brain.
business.
Your smart,
because there's
educated
nobody
brain.
who does it,
I feel like there's a lot to that story that you could dive into. Like she just gave us a very summarized version.
No, we keep trying to get more out of it, but we keep getting the same
I was about to
story.
say, this is a very summarized. She's leaving a lot of details
Yeah,
out.
she's smart.
Yeah.
You want a high level when you're pitching someone. You want a minute or left.
What's
or
the
less.
weirdest company that's pitched you to sponsor?
Weird.
Like weirdest. Like what's the most outlandish company that's hit you up to do something?
So I had this cosmetic brand that they want after shaving roller. And then they wanted to do roller here.
A porn
and
company.
I was
Like while you're surfing?
yeah. And I'm
Like shaving legs?
You know,
I
it's
could do a big
not
Gillette
legs, the bikini parts. Legs would be okay.
Oh, wow.
That's actually not a bad.
Probably the engagement
But you
would
know,
be through
it's
the roof.
Dubai and stuff, and TikTok, it's quite like limited. So I'm like, hey, I don't want to put TikTok like I'm just rolling
Yeah.
myself here, you know?
Some of the Orange County housewives, they started like it was so funny. So
Actually, can you put them on to me? I'll do it.
I'll show my bikini.
I'll do it right now.
she's like, okay, hold on a minute. No, but they started doing vibrators, and I was like watching. I was like, why are these housewives advertising a vibrator? And they were like, they approached me. I went to this a little podcast like this, and they were like, okay, hold this in front of me. I'm like, it's like a butt plug. I'm like, I am not holding a dildo on your little thing. And she
I
was
was just
like,
imagining
well,
it.
I thought you were coming on the podcast. I'm like, I thought this was normal, and I am not holding a dildo.
Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
Crazy.
But my point
Thanks
of
to
bringing
our
this,
sponsors.
yeah, your sponsor. Yeah, but my point is that you do all this, right? And you really and to have a mind behind the reason why all of us are sitting here and we're all successful in what we do is because you have a mind behind your brand.
Yeah.
And how important is it to have a brand and to show other people that your brand matters and that you know how to control that brand? And people may think, well, she's saying no to this or this or this or this. I'm sure you said no to a lot of weird products. I'm sure.
That's what. That's
Like
good.
no to
That's good.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Has people asked you to do OnlyFans?
I get a lot of messages, but I would never be.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I'm
I guess
sure it's like
I would
up
be
to.
insulted if I were a
Yeah.
hot girl and no one's asking me to say, "Do you have an OnlyFans?" I'd be like,
No one's asked you.
"No, I'd be insulted." I'd be like, "Dude, I think that's like a badge of honor." Like, it's like
Yeah.
if
A
people wanna
badge of
see-
honor to be
Well, no,
asked to do OnlyFans.
I know where he's going with
You
it.
don't know.
I know where you're
Follow
going with
logic
this.
here. Like if it's now it's like it's the OnlyFans generation. Like I feel like that
Right.
it's like a Playboy thing. Like it's not
Yeah.
like because I have a lot of OnlyFans girls friends that do OnlyFans and they're not. It's not porn at all. Like they are like classy
OnlyFans
style.
is porn.
It's
Yeah, I
not
know.
though. It's not though. Like
Okay,
OnlyFans.
give me the man's point. I got to hear the guy's point of view.
Listen, there's two sections to this, right? If you're taking sexy pictures in lingerie, right? There's a lot of girls that do
Well,
that.
that's
on OnlyFans.
Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen the models recently? Because that's not Victoria's Secret anymore.
Okay.
But you could do sexy pictures on OnlyFans and have. I mean, you could do OnlyFans with eating food. You don't have to.
I feel like there's a hard, like, there's like 17 things I just wanted to say, but I was like,
you
there's
can
like a
say
hard
it.
drive in my
No,
mind.
you can say it.
Yeah, bring it.
Don't get,
Bring it. What?
His initial thing he was saying though is just like he would be, if he was a hot chick and nobody asked him, he'd be upset because he'd be like, wait, why isn't anybody asking me? It's like,
Like if I'm a girl, like it's like you get these random dick pics, right? And I'd be like insulted if I were a girl and I never got a dick pic. And all my friends are like, I get dick pics all the time. Like, well, I haven't gotten any. Like, what the
that's so true. I have a library of dick pics. I
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah, they're on
gosh.
the shelf.
There it
I
is.
have a file of
And
just.
you just say, when they send
I
them,
don't know why they send me dicks.
Hold on.
You should
So-
have a wall of dick pics.
I know,
Oh,
because I'm gonna
dick
put a
pic
book.
Hall of
Wait,
Shame.
no,
I'm
what
gonna do
is it?
Apple. I'm gonna
What's
do
it?
Apple books.
Isn't
I'm gonna
it-
have a dick
on, so you
dick
just say
dialogue.
the movie Forgetting Sarah, I think it's
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Is that it? Where they go in the bathroom and it's got all the girls who like
I think so.
take photos? You should have in the dressing room like all the dick
Oh,
pics.
so
printed out.
just say-
I literally have a file on my phone.
So
of
someone
dicks.
sends you a dick pic.
I do.
Do you say thank you and then put it in the file?
I do.
Or do you
That's
say you're
it.
an asshole? I can't believe you sent that to me.
No.
And still put it in the file.
No, you don't want to insult anyone because you might get like a letter of cease and desist, and I don't want that.
You can insult them. Your dick is ugly.
But
I'm
you're-
sure they're fine with that at that point, right?
No, I never asked for a dick though. It just comes there.
No girl asks for
comes.
dick pics.
I never don't ask for a dick pic. It just comes. They're like, "Hey, can I come over?"
I think if
Like last week, I got a dick pic, and it was like so weird. And I was
I
like,
told you it was an accident. It wasn't meant for you. No, but I'd be like, I feel like
I'm single dating, and I get dick pics. It's the weirdest thing ever because I never asked for them. I'm like, "Hey," and they're
but
like,
yet
"Oh,
you
so
still
what are
have
you
a
doing
file
later?"
to keep
'Cause-
all of them.
What?
You have the file.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
have
go
a file.
through the file? Is it like on a shuffle? Like how does that work? Like
Well, because they try and do WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is somebody like, let's do WhatsApp or let's do Snapchat. I'm like, oh my God.
I always
okay.
wonder what like literally
The protocol?
the thought process is somebody like
Did they ask
I'll
what do you
tell
call
you.
it? What do you call it? Like when they send it to you, there's a name for that when you send it to you.
sexting?
No, when you're not asking for it. Like
unsolicited?
unsolicited.
So-
yeah.
so I
like an unsolicited dick pic like thought process.
Let me tell you because I actually
Sender
thought
is
about
like,
this.
oh yeah, dude.
No,
she's
they
gonna
literally
love
sends me
this.
dicks.
So I thought
like when they're
actually-
sitting in their bed, like waiting for me to say, they're like, oh, send me a picture. I'm like,
It's
Thinking to
not.
myself, no fucking way.
But see, it's not okay. So the thought process on this, I actually had that thought a long time ago, and I like
you
so it's like,
had
I
that
can't believe
thought
I
of a
got-
dick pic?
No.
Oh,
Why guys send
Why guys send
Oh,
dick pics?
okay.
It's not
Unsolicited.
It's not like an unsolicited, especially you want if you get asked for a dick pic, it's not exciting to send a dick pic. You want to send an unsolicited dick pic, and this is why. Because in a guy's psyche, it's not the fact that you're thinking, oh, she's gonna open this dick pic and say you have a great looking dick. Like they're thinking in their mind that she's gonna open this and not know what she's gonna open, and she's gonna be surprised by it. Like
usually it's the
what
big black
fuck?
one, that guy that's sitting
that
there,
one
it's like,
guy.
bam.
No, that guy's like famous. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, he's passed away, but yeah.
yeah. But he was like, that guy is like everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Apparently, he did a bunch of charity work. I looked into the background of that guy.
What's his name? I
Yeah.
forgot his name. Is.
Duke Diggler?
We need our
Dick
Google
Diggler.
guy.
Dick
No, it's
Diggler.
not Duke Diggler.
Oh.
It was like Marcus or something.
Yeah.
So, let's back up. Okay. I'm actually curious. Why do they send me dick pics?
I said because
Unsolicited?
Unsolicited.
I don't know.
I got a ton of them.
I'm trying to get down the bottom.
So if you
And they're not pretty.
No,
like,
no,
it's
they're not.
like,
That's not the
dude, and
point.
they're like in a weird angle. And they're like,
right, but that's not the point. The point is when the guy's taking it, they're excited by the fact that you're going to open it and be surprised, like what you're thinking when you open it. Like, oh, she's going to open this. It's not the fact that, oh, I wonder what she thinks of it. Like they're excited at the fact that they're sending it unsolicited. Right? It's just coming to you and you're like, I'm going to
it's like either an
surprise her.
Oscar Mayer or a banana, and I prefer the banana.
Are there two separate folders you have, or is it just like it's like a like? What
I
if you
don't
just,
know.
What if you just found like a great looking like monster online? And you're like, that's me. You know, like and the girl's like, whoa, that's so cool.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. All I know,
It's the same
I
thing
just
with like
know
a guy
I-
asking for tit pics. Like, how do you know that those are her tits?
But how come the guy
wouldn't
just
even have a
sends an
moment.
unsolicited dick pic? It's just weird to me. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
How could a guy be comfortable
Why don't you ask that? You
laying
should ask
there
him.
talking to me, going like, "Hey, you know," I'm like, "Yeah, no." So what? You know, I know you from a friend, and da da da.
And that's when they send it.
No,
I feel like
no,
there's
and
more
then
spicy
when-
stuff
I feel
going
like
on. in
guys
there.
sending unsolicited dick pics are ruining dicks for all the guys.
They
It's just
are, because they're
it's
so-
I'm
Ruining
looking at it
solicited dick
from
pics.
from my point of view, like if I got unsolicited tit photos, I'd be like, where's the face that like I like to have the whole package.
So
right?
you'd be upset about that. You'd be
So
upset.
do you
if you got
like
unsolicited
do you
dick
like
pics.
clean
No, I wouldn't be
shaven,
upset.
right?
Don't
I
get
see
me wrong.
dicks that are like puffy. It's like, what the fuck is that?
But it's
Why
like-
can't you at least the trail to the treasure, not the trail to the measure? Like I need like something.
Liz,
I
how
feel
many-
like they're
how many
ruining,
are
the
you-
reason. Let me clarify. I feel like they're ruining it for us because they're all these guys
Just sending dick pics
apparently
left
from
and
what I
right,
hear,
yeah.
they're just sending
They
dicks all over the
are.
place. So
Because
they're
no
making
girl's going to ask for one
they're
now.
making our
just getting
dicks seem so
unsolicited.
available, you know. So it's like I don't know.
I want to solicit. I want to get a solicit. I want to solicit.
You gotta
these. I
make
like
dicks great
I want to
again.
go be like, hey, can you please
Make
send
dicks great again.
Yeah, make them not so obtainable again.
MDGA.
How many files do you have in that folder? Just out of curiosity.
I like
great.
20 something.
20 something.
Thousands.
Is that like
That's-
a girl?
I'm gonna make a
is that a
book.
girl 20, which is really 60?
In my
There's
life,
no way.
in my life,
There's no way she's talking about it, and there's only 20.
I know. I will
Yeah.
bet money right now. I got 100 cents. There's more than 20.
Okay.
I digress.
Okay.
Anyways, welcome to America. by the way.
I know. I'm loving here. I learned a lot here.
She's like, I have a folder too.
I just wondered, Keith, the thought process of why guys are
I said
like,
it's the
I don't know.
unsolicited factor of it. It's the factor of them thinking like, oh, she's going to be surprised by this. Like, if you asked for
Yeah,
it,
okay,
I said,
okay.
I tell you what, you
maybe
don't
more
want.
cocktails.
Hey, Elizabeth, if you don't want dick pics, ask a guy for a dick pic. That's how you don't get one.
Yeah.
Because the guy's like, well, I'm not going to send it if she's asking for it. Like,
So do you think it's hot when a guy just sits there and they're like just trying to be sexy and they're like weird and it's a weird
No.
angle because they don't know how to do it? And they're just like,
Very
hi,
unsexy.
baby.
Brought to you by
guys
Vitamin Bar.
what kind of guys you have on your WhatsApp?
Wait, can we just
Rookies.
Can I do a little product plug real quick?
Yeah, sure. Do you have a dildo?
The dick conversation brought you by Mini Fuels. Vitamin Bar has a new SKU called Mini Fuels.
Keeps you hard for 4 hours. Call a doctor if you're
Does it have
longer than 4 hours.
testosterone?
This bar is a smaller version of Vitamin Bar, so it doesn't make you intimidated
Oh
to
my
eat a full-size Vitamin Bar.
Okay, so we were talking about all these dating apps earlier, like
Yeah.
with the girl talk. So we talked about how do you meet men, how do you meet people these days, and how do you just go about life? And so I'm newly single. I'm like, okay, I've been single for a while because I just can't find. But apparently, I'm dating Jim Bellino. So
congratulations,
the
by the way,
Orange
for that.
County
That's
Housewives.
awesome.
You like my new
I
boyfriend?
like him. He's a good guy.
Oh yeah, you like
saw
him?
the
I
headline.
guess
He's sexy.
he's got he golfs. I guess and
He does
he's
golf.
fabulous and whatever. Shut the fuck up. That's so awful. Just to clarify, I'm not dating Jim Bellino, and I want to fully say that on this podcast.
I mean, in
That's not
my
what
opinion,
TMZ
I saw the
says.
headline.
You saw the dick pic?
I saw the dick pic, and he's got a great
Has
cock.
Jim sent
But
you
I
a
have
dick
to
pic?
say, you are out of his league. Not a chance, Jim.
Yeah.
I know it's funny when people are like, "Take a picture with me," and you're like, "Click, you're dating him." You're like,
No.
and then TMZ's like on Bravo.com.
Boom.
Elizabeth found the love of her life
know.
finally after all of her struggles with relationships. I'm like,
Dude looks so cozy in that picture, though. It was like love. I saw love in there.
did you at the Wild Goose?
That's
That
what I
was
saw.
at A's.
No, it was at
because I looked the situation up.
the woman, the shut up
Oh, the
woman.
quiet woman.
The
quiet
woman. The
That
quiet
was-
woman.
you guys were at like a table or something, right? The
By
photo.
the way, but you know what the logo of
I
the,
was on this side, he was on this side, and we took a photo this way together.
So
It's
do you know-
okay. He's a really nice guy because he likes lawyers.
That's got to be frustrating, right? To
I hate
like you just take a photo of somebody and then like a rumor like that starts.
but you know what? I was mad at first, and then I was like,
yeah, you were upset.
okay, yeah, I was very upset because I mean, I want to be seen with a hot model.
I mean, if you're in a picture with anybody, I get this guy.
yeah, but how frustrating is that you're just having a meal with somebody like that? You're I don't know why you're.
Well,
like,
no, I was
hanging out.
trying to like
Welcome to Newport Beach.
have a
Like,
date.
This is a very
and it-
small.
not a
town.
date at that restaurant. It just didn't work out. Like I just wanted to meet him because everyone said he golfed, and I thought, okay, I'm single. I just want to meet somebody, and they were like, oh, and I thought, no, it's gonna be weird because he's related to housewife people. And they go, no, he's not a housewife person. He's normal. He's responsible. He's got like, real estate. He's got restaurants. He's responsible. So I thought, okay, cool. Then he came over. Didn't work out. Then he was hungry, and I was like, okay, we'll eat. And then all of a sudden we got a photo, and I'm dating.
And here comes the dick
Yeah.
pic.
And here comes the dick.
That's wild.
It-
What a like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, now anybody I want to date thinks I'm dating a housewife guy, house husband. So it's going to be difficult.
You'll be fine. I have a feeling you'll be fine.
Will I get more dick pics?
I know.
Send
Just
them
send dick pics.
now. And I want them full force. I
Liz
want
has
them
a-
down here.
Liz has a
Send
QR
them down under.
Liz has a QR code for dick pics.
oh
Oh boy.
what a visualization.
But I mean, so dating in Dubai, it's interesting, right? So
Yeah.
you're beautiful, you're blonde, you look like a California,
How many
sunshine.
boyfriends do you have in Dubai right now? Like realistically.
Right now?
Yeah.
Right
Like not
now?
boyfriends. Just
How
how
many
many
I speak
guys
to?
think that they're on the line?
With you, I
A few.
speak,
Like
yeah.
2 or 3?
Because she's single
Yeah.
right now.
But I'm single because I'm now more particular because I don't want to like anybody to waste my time
Right.
and give me headache
Yeah.
because also I
Give
feel
me
like
headache.
It
Yeah.
is. It's true. It's a time wasting scenario at that point. If you're dating 3 people that you know you don't like, it's like I'd rather be surfing.
There's
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
guys in Dubai listening to this that are devastated. Devastated.
I thought it was.
He's like, is it me? Is it me or no?
Older. They're like, oh.
He's like, delete the dick pic. Don't send. Unsend.
Yeah, on WhatsApp because you can delete for all.
True.
Unbelievable.
So wait, so you don't find anybody there that you want?
Not for now, yeah. I mean, it is tricky because it's quite like a playground. So I want to find someone serious, but guys are like, okay, this weekend, this one, this. And I'm actually very smart. I always find out something. It's always like something comes out. Like I was seeing this one guy, then he's like, oh, I'm going here with the guys. And then a friend of mine say, oh, I see him sitting on a table with 10 girls. I'm like, what? And I send a picture. The world is small.
Oh, you're a
I'm like,
stalker.
Do you find it harder because
no, somebody sent me.
Liz is like, wait,
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
I'm in there.
You knew.
Do you find it harder because there's a lot of money out there?
Yeah, and there's a lot of beautiful people also. And people actually don't have time really. Like, you're not available today. Okay, I get somebody else.
Yeah.
And for me, like my career is the most important. So, I mean, I don't really pay attention like, kind of man wants you available all the time. And I'm so busy with everything what's happening in my life. And they want to come with me here, come with me there. I'm like, yeah, but you don't give me any security. Why do I have to drop everything and just go with you,
Yeah.
I picture that of like Dubai, like Saudi guys. Like I feel like they're very demanding. Like
Yeah.
be here now. Like I feel like that's like
Be right now here.
I've only dated 2 of them, and I just
There you go.
Keith. Okay, let's get on Keith for a second. So,
oh
Yeah.
boy.
So how is dating in Orange County? Because you're single. Are you single or you're not
I'm
single?
single.
You're single. And Keith, you are like a man's man. You're a guy's guy. So tell us about dating a woman in Orange County. Like, what's it like to go out? Because you have a boat. You fly your own airplane. You're a pilot. You're very, very smart.
You check all the boxes. What's the problem?
I look really good on paper. Like I look good. I'm an attorney. Like I got
invented
a doctorate.
the mobile stripper pole.
I know.
I mean, this is pretty phenomenal.
Well, so it's
Wait, is that true?
Yeah, that's the inventor of the mobile stripper pole.
So,
wow.
He made Orange County register.
My parents were very proud.
Wow. We got a poker night coming up in a couple of weeks.
I created the bearing that makes it spin, so it's kind of cool. And so like if you've ever seen a spinning pole, that was ours. I did it through law school, and when I was in law school,
he engineered the spinning pole that is mobile.
So I was friends with Dennis Rodman at the time, and so I lived at the beach, and he always had parties every night, and so I created this like pole. It looked like tetherball court. It's like a big square thing, and the poles on the side, and you didn't have to attach it to the ceiling, so you can move it anywhere. And nobody had this thing, and so I brought it over to his house, and I'm like, can I shoot some pictures in your house? He's like, yeah, go for it. So FHM did like a full page write-up on this thing. I didn't even have one done. Like the end of the weekend, I had like 250 orders. Like these things were like $800
No
each.
way.
And I'm like, crap. And I did, this was a prototype. It didn't even work. And so like at that point, that's when I got production background. I'm like, I got to figure out how to make this and consistently make it so that it works.
I could see like a Beavis and Butthead episode where like they order the mobile strip pole and they're like,
right. Now how do we get the girls? Well, the motto was you build it and they will come, right? But so
build it and they will come, literally.
But so it was hard though, because when I did that, I was in law school. Anytime there was any sort of case on anything that had to do with any sort of sexuality, they're like, so Keith, why don't you tell us about this case? And like you had to just go, you had to know everything about this case. And like that was the night that I'm like, I'm going to be called on tomorrow for sure. And if you get called on and if you don't know it, they rip you a new asshole. Like, they chew you out. Like this is not like elementary school where you didn't know 2 + 2. Like you didn't do your homework. You didn't study this like in front of the whole class. Yeah. And you're just sitting there going, crap. So it was cool. So but dating in terms of that, like I had a hard time because I would date girls and they would be like, well, you're hanging out with strippers. I'm like, no, I'm hanging out with old fat guys that own strip clubs that have a couple $1,000s to spend on a pole. Like that's where I'm doing. We'd ship these things all across the world. But in terms of dating, it's hard because there's a stigma, right? You want a guy that's successful, obviously.
Right.
You want a guy with money. I mean, realistically, just
wait, you do?
And so it's like you want a guy that has some sort of stability. The problem is that, and this is where I think you get the ultimate extreme of this, is that the more money a guy has, the more control he has.
Of course.
Unless the woman has her own stuff, right? Where she doesn't require that or she doesn't need that or she doesn't rely on it. But if a guy's like, I want you to be here, and you're like, well, I wanted to go do this. He's like, no, I need you here. Mm-hmm. Like it's a consistency, right? Yeah. Like you, I mean, you got your own stuff. Like you say, fuck off. Like I'm going to be there when I want to be there. I'm not looking for a
sponsor. I'm just looking for a good time.
Yeah, but I mean, I think
you're the sponsor.
I want to feel like a solid leather couch, right?
But
seems like you want a chick though. You don't have to like tell to be that. Like she would want to be hanging out with you,
right? But I think that in her situation with Saudi guys, like they're very demanding. So they will say it just to say it to see if you're going to do it, right? It sounds like. She was dating the first guy she was dating. She's like, don't do this. Get rid of your tattoos. Like, I have tattoos.
I want to get more. He's like, no, don't get more. What if we go there? I say, we don't go there. And if we go, I cover. I already have so many.
Was he married though?
No, he wanted to get married to me.
You're asking if her boyfriend is married?
But it's possible. It's a good question. No, it's a very good question. No, it's a very good question.
Did you see the straight face that Liz had on that?
That's a very good question.
She said it was a very good question. She said it was a very good question.
I know in Dubai it would be. I mean, but it's like, that's not a normal question. Is your boyfriend married?
Yeah, but very normal.
I mean, I don't know. Is he? Was he? No, he wasn't.
No,
Austin's from Georgia. Okay, like that's out there. It's like you have a girlfriend. You met her in elementary school. Like you're like 100 years old. You've known her since she started like puberty. Like that's how it works.
Okay, so the real quick, Dubai is very strange. They have husbands. You have husband who has a wife who has a girlfriend who has a mistress.
Oh, well,
you can have like 3-4 wives.
Phenomenal.
You can have 3-4 wives.
No,
as a Muslim man. Yes, it's allowed per law. And the
Gabby, book
first
my
love.
flight, Dubai tomorrow. I'm moving.
Shut up,
See you
Keith.
guys at
Keith,
FitFun.
you are American through and through. You could not handle
Wait,
Dubai.
hold on. So, but this, so hold on. I want to. So, if you have,
Keith's like, wait, let's back up.
have you dated someone that's had multiple like?
No, but I was seeing one guy and I thought he didn't have anyone. And then somebody told me, oh, actually, he has a wife in Abu Dhabi. I'm like, oh, and I didn't know that. So I found out. So sometimes they're not very
There's only
honest.
one, so that's not bad.
Yeah, but still.
That's better than
I
two
don't want to be
wives.
the mistress, right? I don't want to be...
Yeah, are you married? Nah.
No, but I know business guys, that they have 3 wives. Like
That sounds like such
A lot
a
of work.
nightmare. Like,
That's a lot of estrogen.
that's
Yeah.
could you imagine? Do they know each other? Or are they all?
yeah, so they have to approve of each other. The first wife need to approve of the
This sounds
second, and
really
they need to
cool.
approve.
And
And you
that-
need to
This sounds
divide.
really
Like
cool,
if you buy a
Keith,
car,
you're
you need to
sick.
buy for all 3.
You have to- you have to buy the same
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
So it's expensive a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yours for everyone.
I mean, if you have four
Pleasure.
wives.
Wait, if you have 4 wives, I mean, you just got one. I mean,
I said, if you have 4 wives, how you can eat 4 meals 4 times a day?
No, they all eat together, right? Or no?
No.
Oh, no. No, you don't. You take turns. It's like
Yeah, you
that's that show like.
can a
Sister.
man produce that much?
I guess so.
Okay, this is a question that I really have. That
Okay.
I know it's a little bit edgy, but I want to ask it.
Let's see if I have the answer for
If
this.
he has a wife
Dumb.
Yeah.
and he impregnates his mistress, or no, their
No,
girlfriends,
second wife.
Oh, this. I might need a notepad. This one.
is
The
it
whiteboard.
okay if now they know each other and they raise the child together, or how does that
But
work?
they have wives. It has to be wives. So
Oh, so they marry. Okay, so
Yeah.
but what if he impregnates the girlfriend? Does
I'm
he have to marry her?
confused.
no, you will
sounds
not.
like-
the wives will not know about the
Is this
girlfriend.
girl
If
talk?
it's a
Should we
girlfriend,
This is so. This is a lot of math.
Hold on. So you're saying a guy could have.
This is like a math. Like
I'm
a
so
I know, I need a
confused.
whiteboard.
Yes,
Is there
this
a
is a
dry
math.
erase?
This is a
I
lie.
need-
If
Okay,
a
so-
Saudi man has 4 wives, but he has
And
3
2 mistresses. How
And
many
if the mistress is
children can he
pregnant,
have?
does he have to marry the mistress to make of her a wife?
but hold on.
And get rid of one of the wives to have 4 wives?
My
no, if he
question
has
is,
mistresses, he cannot tell the wives.
But if
that
he has
has.
mistresses, he gets one of them pregnant, does he have to replace one of the wives with a mistress if one of the wives isn't pregnant and he has to have a
brought to you by Vitamin Bar. We won't snitch on your ass.
Hey, my question is, okay, so say you have 3
my
wives,
God,
but say you have 2 wives, right?
Oh
And
my
you're looking
God,
for a
like-
3rd wife. Like,
Yeah.
isn't that 3rd contestant by definition a mistress?
No, so if you get married to her, it's a
No,
wife.
but what if
official wife.
before you marry her, you got to date her?
No, but it's
By
okay,
definition,
kind
that
of
would be a mistress.
Okay,
arranged.
let's forget it. Okay,
You will know it's a wife.
Dubai is crazy.
I'm
In
interested.
America, all they do is hide it. It's
Yeah.
I
fine.
know, that's what's weird.
Like-
it's like,
like-
I'm not going to tell you about my mistresses, but I have 3 wives.
Like 3 wives. Yeah.
boy.
No.
Wild.
It's wild, the cultures though. I'm like, like in the US that it's, you have a husband and then they have their so we have it called the starter wife, the midwife,
The Fisher
wow,
Price,
okay.
my
and
first
hospice
wife.
wife.
okay.
So there's 3 wives. So you have the wife that puts you through college, the men through
Not at the
college.
same
Wait,
time.
wait.
Not
This
at
is
the
an actual thing.
No. She's talking about like through the course of your life.
Of course, you're
but
like
this is
a
like
man
a-
will have a starter wife where he has a baby.
The Fisher Price, my
and
first
she
wife.
put him through college. And then there's the midwife, who then is actually probably the secretary or whatever that ends up marrying the guy.
The one that ended up cheating on the
and
first
the one
wife
that
with.
cheats out with the first wife. And then he loses his money because of a bad business deal. And so then she leaves. And now he's got the hospice wife because now he's like in his 50s.
Oh
60s,
my
struggle.
god!
And he's getting old, needs diapers. So now you've got like the
Diapers.
3 different types of men. So for American women, we have to realize, do you want to be a starter wife, a midwife,
Jesus.
or a hospice wife?
This is toxic.
Tough life here in
Toxic
America.
mentality for
Austin's like,
women.
I'm out of here.
Yeah,
No,
this
no,
is like,
no, but-
well, it's crazy because I've always kind of like seen that trend, but I've never actually heard a woman
Liz just
actually
lay
out the
That's exactly
template.
how it works.
That's the template.
that women are actually people are like this is like a thought process in a woman's brain of like which wife they're gonna be.
If you're the second wife.
I thought
the second wife is
The
the
first
best
wife
wife.
doesn't
'cause
think
you
that.
get-
The first wife thinks that
the first
she's
wife's in
right.
love. Love
women were
means-
just trying to get like
No, the first
wifed
wife is
up.
like, I'm in love. We're gonna have babies and be together forever. And then she realizes that, and then the
Not
guy gets
happening.
bored. And then the second wife is like, oh my God, the guy's successful. He's already had his children. And then it was like, the guy's like, amazing. And and then the guy She gets bored. So then she leaves.
Once again, I need a whiteboard here.
It's a pretty interesting process. So in America, we have
Just gotta stick to the waves, man.
Just
Just
get back on the board.
Dude, I get out there, just try to get barreled and have a good time, dude. Too much.
But the dude thing and the girl and the woman thing, like we all want to be together and we all want to like understand. But what the most important thing out of all this conversation is that men are men and women are women. And
Wait, hold on.
We respect
everything,
you.
that's what we've determined is that men are men. You need to tell half of the country that right now. Because I don't think men are actually men.
Right now. Men are men.
Hold on. But that's not true.
Just said we were going to get
some men are women and women
Luke,
think that they're men. So I don't know if that's actually legit.
My point is that, the guy talk, it's all funny.
This was definitely girl talk with guys today. You have it in your blood.
Yeah, sorry.
You're thinking you're going to just host a dude talk podcast.
Okay, so
You can't do that, Elizabeth. You got girl talk in your blood.
because I have her on here. I can't just be like super dude.
Yeah.
It gets way dudier.
But yeah. So anyway, so how's your career going?
Going great. Yeah.
So hold on. So when did you leave Georgia?
Oh man. So like whenever somebody asks me like, yeah, I want to know your story, this and that, I'm like, all right, like in my head right away, I'm like computing like, okay, do I give like the super summarized version? Do I give like the 20-minute long version, the 40? Like I could literally like, I feel like I've had so many.
We have like 20 minutes.
No, I know. So I've had like so much like little pieces and chapters of my life where it's just like the summarized version is I was born and raised in Savannah, Georgia. Started surfing and skateboarding, being a kid in the South with long hair, wasn't exactly accepted in the South. I actually lived in Indiana for 6 years, which a lot of people don't even know. Even people who know I'm from Georgia, they don't even know I spent 6 years in the cornfields of Indiana, literally in the cornfields, and moved back to Georgia. Pretty much spent the rest of my life up until about 17, 18 years old in Georgia. And then
you got into skimboarding in Georgia though, right?
I got into surfing first. So
okay.
I was like super into surfing. I had an older brother that was like an inspiration to me with conventional sports like football and soccer and stuff like that. And so I was kind of athletic and competitive at a young age, always having to prove myself from, the older, I had brothers that are like 5-6 years older than me, So
You're the young pup at all.
I'm the youngest one. Yeah.
Okay.
By like 6 years. No. Well, actually, my middle brother, he's had phases of like in and out of surfing. And actually, I borrowed a surfboard from one of his buddies for the first time. That's how I got into it. And I was like, hey, can I try that? And I like surfed like a half a foot wave. And I was like,
just
yeah.
fell in love.
Yeah, I was like, I'm getting a surfboard. So fell in love with surfing and just started
How many
figuring
siblings
it out.
do you have?
Two older
Okay,
brothers.
so just two older. Okay,
Yeah,
got
they're awesome. They're like the best dudes ever. And just
fell in love with it in Georgia.
fell in love with it. Like once I got it, I was already kind of skateboarding a little bit. And then once I found like action sports and like surfing, especially like at the beach, like conventional sports was out the door. Like I went to a terrible school, like middle school, like everything was very like I was like the minority. I got picked on, bullied, freaking rode the bus 45 minutes of school. It was just like everything about school was like
torture.
Like got in fights every single year. Like it was.
Did you have your dreads or no?
I had long hair. So like I got this, like I was always like, you a girl, you a boy. Like, and I always had to like prove myself. And thankfully, like I had two older brothers, like my oldest brother, like me and him used to box with like snow gloves and stuff. So like I could fight and I was very coordinated. So I could always hold my own. And like all I had to do is get in one fight once a year. And I was like good the rest of the year.
Everyone knew not to mess with you.
But I was like so stressed out, like I already hated being at school. It sucked. And so like, as soon as I found surfing, like the last thing I want to do is spend more time at school, like going to soccer practice or football practice or something like that. I played football up until like middle school. And
always athletic though. That's good.
Yeah. I was like energetic, a ball of energy.
Yeah.
I always have been, always had to be doing something. And I just fell in love with surfing. And even when I was I just remember when I was like little in Indiana, like just like making like clip art on a document. Like I always put palm trees around it. And like, I just wanted to be at a
creative.
I was like already manifesting like tropical vibes since I was like a kid, just being by the ocean, palm trees. And but then when I connected like surfing with that environment, like it met everything just like boom, big bang in my head. Like this is what my life's about. And I just started like getting obsessed with surfing, started surfing competitively. We had like a small little contest scene in Georgia that allowed you to qualify for other events on the East Coast. So I started doing like surf contests up and down the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
My mom, you know, she'd be working midnights as a nurse and then like literally like on the weekends, like take me to a surf contest. Like God bless her soul. Like
That's cool.
like,
So nice.
like, so I would go to do these surf contests. And then I think my roots in middle school, like rubbed off in like the surf. I was like a little hothead in the water.
So now
and,
you're like, I'm going to prove
so I was
myself.
like this, I just remember like, this is kind of a funny story. Like I was like this kid from Georgia, like all these other kids on the, like is the ESA, Eastern Surfing Association. And like all these kids knew each other. And I mean, there's like one contest, there's not a lot of waves. There's like sets of 2 waves coming in and they were just like teaming up, like blocking me out of getting
You're the
in wave.
outcast.
And I got pissed. And I just like, this one kid was like, oh yeah, we're going to split the peak. And so he's like, yeah, I'll go right, you go left. So I was like, all right, perfect. So I go left and he goes left. So automatic interference on me. Like, and then I'm like 13 years old, 14 years old or something. And like, I knew what he did right then. I was like, you just tried to like screw me over. And I pushed him off his board, paddled out. Next dude caught a wave. I basically set the record for the most interferences on the East Coast, like ever. Like, and
your inner personality, your inner
yeah,
lion.
and then at
came
that
out.
point, I was like, realized I was like I like surfing from like, I was like this whole, I'm such a competitive nature, you know, like I'm mostly competing with myself.
Right.
But then you bring other people in that equation, then it gets like, now it's like a different, you know? So like, I don't know. So
You're
like
going up and down the
I
East
basically
Coast.
like at the same time started like learning how to skimboard because there was no waves in Georgia. And I was like, why am I even competing? I'm like 14. Like, what is there? Like nobody told me like being a pro athlete was a career path in Georgia. It was like more like go to school, go to
how
college,
did
get a
you
job.
even know?
You know, like I didn't even know like you could be like I saw NBA players. I grew up watching Michael Jordan, but I never even knew that like that was a real thing that you could be like a pro athlete, a pro athlete of any sort. Like honestly, like I see kids like going to school nowadays, like you have all these programs, like the high school football games here. You could be like college football games. Like it's insane. Like, so like there was no concept of like,
but your mom didn't know either though until she did. Or?
I mean, my mom and my dad were just like grinding, you know, like they weren't like,
hey, you could be a pro athlete.
You could be whatever you want to
do.
Granted, they supported whatever like thing I did. But there was no like, hey, like nobody in my life that was like, yeah, you could be this, you could be that. It was just like, honestly, what fueled me was just like, I kind of knew there was more to life than what like the little box that I grew up in of like, you know, I just saw people around. It's like the same people, they're growing up in the same town, working at the same seafood restaurant, then bouncing around to be a bartender at that restaurant. I was like, or like being a landscaper or like, or the other round, like being a scholar, going to school in the same state you grew up in, and then just like getting a job and whatever, and then having a family. I was like, there's gotta be more, you know? And I just felt like I had more to offer.
Fire was sort of
I felt like I had more to
It's cool
offer.
that your parents supported that though. Like, you know, and they're not just, they just
it wasn't like they were
or,
like, they encouraged me on any path. It was just like, I think they just knew that like from a young age, like my mom always says this too, is like I was determined, like anything that I was going to do, I was going to do. Like if they told me I can't, if they told me I can't do it, it just made me want to do it more, you know?
Do you have kids?
I don't have any kids. No, maybe in a few years.
But your older brothers, were they always
join the freedom right now?
Were your older brothers supporting you all the time? Or
well, my older brothers, they're like, we've always been so close, but at the same time, so separate because they were like, as soon as I was getting in high school, they were already off in college, you know? So like they were going to UGA, you know, and like doing that. And I'm like just getting into high school, like trying to like, whoa, what's going on? You know, like,
remember the babies of the group, you know, you're always just sort of discarded by the family.
Yeah.
Cause you're like, we've already done 2. You're on your own.
It was a little weird. It was like a little bit of that. I mean, like I gotta like kind of, there's like a whole other story to that, but like, I'm just very thankful that I had great brothers.
And how'd you get to California then? So you just, you did the competition.
Well, my parents got divorced right around like my high school years. And,
you were like, okay, I got to do something. And
so, yeah, I just felt like I kind of had like when that happened, I was just like, you know, fuck all this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to like do shit like what I want to do. And I was like, kind of just like spending my own time. My mom was working her ass off, still working her ass off, but like as a nurse, she's been a nurse her whole life and she's working midnights and doing all kinds of stuff.
Bless
And
her.
I know
Yeah,
she's
that's
just the
amazing.
most beautiful, greatest soul ever. And anyway, so she was like, "Oh, I went and I met this older gentleman, and he was a surfer in in Savannah, Georgia. And I met him while I was washing dishes at a seafood restaurant. And I love that we're having this conversation because he just passed away this past year,
Oh.
and he was like one of my greatest mentors. And I would sit at the bar with him on the slow days after I was washing dishes, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I just got back from Jacksonville," and he was probably like 52 at the time, and he's just like, "Yeah, he's like, you know what? He's like, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to California. I'm going to Newport Beach, going to work on my salvage sales company." I was like, "No way, dude. California? That's insane." He's like, yeah, he's like,
They love us.
he's like, "I'm getting a place out there. If you ever want to come visit, you come visit me anytime." I'm like, dude, like, and I just got into skimboarding and saw what they were doing in Laguna Beach on skimboards. Is like, are you kidding me? Like,
that's how you got
Newport's like right next to
it's
Laguna
a
Beach.
mecca of
When I saw the first VHS tape of like skimboarding of like what they were doing in Laguna, I was like, and I'm already a good surfer at this point. I'm like, oh my God, like that's
how do I
like,
get there?
I didn't even know waves like that existed. They broke that close to shore that big.
Right.
And I was like, any way I can get to Laguna. So I ended up visiting this guy in California.
Wait, how'd you
What
get
the-
here though? Did your mom just?
Well,
be
no,
like,
I just flew out with a buddy. Like we just
Oh,
came. We're
okay.
like, hey, he's like, come crash in my spot right here in Newport
you just
Beach.
literally got on a plane and came out here.
Yeah,
all the way from the
we were
East
like
Coast.
17 or 18 years old, I think. I was 17 years old, which I think like nowadays that could
That's
look kind of
pretty
weird.
ballsy.
No, it
Yeah.
could kind of look
Yeah.
kind of weird on him. But
It
I'm
was
like,
kind of like weird on it until you go
but
up
back
and
then
sit
we're
around
just like
and
surf buddies, you know?
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
surf together and
Some
like
30-year-old guy's like, hey, come
Yeah.
on, stay at
Come
my
on, come
house.
stay at my house in California.
like,
I would probably rethink letting my kid do that nowadays, but
Don't mind the
anyways,
bottle
it
of
was
oil over
great,
here.
man. Like the guy is like, he was a like big mentor in my life. Like he helped me. Like I think I was in high school. Like a long story short, so my mom was like, I got a travel nurse opportunity in California. Would you want to live there? While I was visiting this guy, I was like, are you kidding me? Heck yeah.
That's manifestation
So, yeah, it
right
was
there.
wild.
That's like
So, like,
perfect.
she got a travel nurse opportunity right when my parents got this divorce and all this stuff. And I mean, even knowing back then, I can't even believe that she did that, but she got up in LA. So we moved to Marina Del Rey. I finished my last year.
Marina Del Rey?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
We didn't move to any ghetto of California.
No,
Like
it wasn't.
Marina Del Rey.
No, and I finished my last year of high school at Venice Beach
Wow.
high school, and which was like a total like change.
Crazy.
Like, I mean, like
Venice
just
Beach kid.
That's 100%.
180 degree turn from going to high school in Georgia. Like I didn't even know.
How
I was
did
like,
you were like, what the?
I mean, I just went into it like already hating school. So like I probably could have enjoyed school more if like I went there all my high school years.
Yeah.
But like
Did you like it or?
I mean, I liked it, yeah, but at the same time I was
You
so
hated
checked out of
school,
school.
yeah.
I was like I hardly passed high school because I was like in California. I was like skipping school so much to go surf. I was like skipping Fridays to go down to
Yeah.
Laguna, and like my buddy that I'm talking about, he lived down here. So I was like, hey, I don't really need to go to school on Friday. I'm just gonna drive down and just go skim and surf. And
I don't really need
Why
to
didn't
go
you
to
have
school.
why didn't you have the Southern drawl, the Georgia accent?
I used to a lot.
Did you
I
have
look
to get rid of that in high school?
I don't know. I just like I think just being out here, and I think I heard myself. I actually
He's been on the waves too
I had that
much.
from when I moved to New York. I got ridiculed so much for the orange and the New York. Like,
Oh,
I
man.
like lost it really
No,
quick.
you know, I actually heard myself on video for the first time. I did this. I was like a finalist for Survivor one time, and
Oh,
I
Wait. You were on Survivor?
no, I was a finalist to be on
Oh, to
Survivor.
be on
So they
Survivor.
gave me a flight day, immunizations, all this stuff, and I was supposed to go. And like, I remember hearing my like audition tape, and I
Yeah.
was like, "The fuck? That's what I sound like." And I was like, "No." I was like, and I don't know. Like, I think I like also doing phone calls with this guy like on a salvage sales company,
Yeah.
Matt Powers, and like I was trying to like not have that, you know.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I guess I just lost it. I never like consciously tried to lose it. I just.
I lost the
Yeah.
Midwest thing. I had a really bad accent, made fun of my
Oh,
whole
your friend
life.
said she heard it in my voice. a
Yeah,
little
she
bit.
did.
But it's cool. Like
You
you're
still
from
got the Midwest.
You're from East Coast,
Coast.
Midwest. I never heard your accent because you're always on the beach, so
Yeah.
that's probably why. And obviously you have an accent.
Well, you
But okay, so you end up.
It's like people like maybe from you, like if you're talking about like, well, you already you have an accent normal, but like if you like you talk normal and you're like, say you have Spanish background and you say like a Spanish town, sometimes when I start talking about Georgia, it'll come out because like I start talking about Georgia. It's weird. It's really weird because like I was talking to your friend and she was talking about Savannah and she's like, oh, I hear it. I was like, oh,
it's funny also when you have a couple cocktails, it comes out. You're like, oh, oops, sorry, I don't know what happened. Listen, okay, so you're in high school, you're not really enjoying it, and then you're in Marina Del Rey, but then you end up Laguna Beach.
I drove this old 1975 BMW out to California.
How'd you win all these? I mean,
so when I came to California, I mean, I was working at Pinkberry. I was working at like
you worked at Pinkberry?
Yeah, it was my first job in California. Was a Pinkberry. Like I have to just be, it is what it is.
I mean, that's better than hot dog on a stick.
Yeah, and then I moved back to Georgia because I was like, my mom was seeing another guy, and I was like, fuck this is weird, and like. And I love the guy now. Love you. And, but at that time I was just like, this is weird. Like, I just want to go get my own bed. I moved back.
Is the guy still living in Laguna though? Your first mentor guy?
Yeah, he passed away this.
No, but was he living in Laguna
when
you were in Marina Del Rey school?
He was,
and then you kind of like...
He was living in Newport and I was in Marina Del Rey. So I would just go drive on the weekend, stay with him in Newport. We'd go to the Quiet Woman. He'd pick up the young ladies. I'd pick up the older women. It was a perfect duo. It was like it was a match made in heaven. We'd go surf waves the next day. It was perfect.
I want to know how you won the skimboarding world champion.
I mean, that was even later on too. How did you get to knowing
you were such an athlete? And I guess, we have a little bit of time. I just wanted to know, you've got these companies, you've got the cold plunge therapy, you've got, you're an entrepreneur. I mean, you're a world champion, you're a GoPro champion. I mean, you've accomplished a lot in your life. I just want to know quickly, like how you got from, meeting somebody who moved to California, your mom got this and she moved out here, all of a sudden you love the water so much. Like you're pretty much a dolphin. So
that's funny.
So like what? So
I mean, I think it was just like,
jump in there like
I think it's just like athletic and ambitious entrepreneurial drive I always had. Like, even though I was always like, my main focus was skimboarding, trying to get better at skimboarding. I didn't know where it was going to take me, but like, the better I got at what I was an expert at, like the better life got for me, like more opportunities for on the smallest scale back then, Right. And like, I just had like this line graph in my head that like, hey, if everything's still going up, I'm just going to keep pursuing it. In the meantime, I had all these like entrepreneurial business ideas, like, oh, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do this. Oh, maybe I'll be like a landscape designer. Maybe I'll come out with this product. But like, like one thing I always focused on was like my craft and perfecting it. And like, eventually as I got more in the skimboard scene, I was like, I'm actually, like
really good.
You're like, wow. I realized I'm like, I could be the best of this. And which is kind of like unheard of at the time. The only guys that have ever won like a world title were from Laguna Beach. I was the first guy outside of Laguna Beach to win.
No, you're Laguna Beach. You're local now. Okay.
I am now. Yeah. But at the time I was just a transplant and I was the first guy outside of Laguna Beach to win it, win the world championships of skimboarding.
And how'd that feel though? I mean, it had to be like,
it's just such a long journey, like there's just like so many, like just.
Were all the locals like, God, what the
oh yeah, it was like, no,
that's
honestly.
The worst when a transplant's
transplant wins something.
Honestly, none of them will see this. So like I would probably talk more openly about it now, but like on here, because none of these guys are going to probably watch.
No, huh?
Maybe they will. Who knows? But like, I will say that like, it like everybody was so cool with me. And as soon as like I got on top and as soon as I became a threat to win like the world title and like actually won, all these guys like just despise me. Yeah. And like, even to this day, there's like this weird like tension. Like this is like 10 years later. I'm like, it's like ridiculous. So like I got,
that's kind of how it works.
It was like, even when I was traveling, like I ended up like, I was on like one brand. I won't say the brand names, but like I was, people who know, but like I was on a skimboard brand team. And I remember actually having to stay at the competitor skimboard brand team, like house, because I felt more comfortable than like with this,
with your own team,
with my own, like the brand like that I rode
That's
for
crazy.
Because these guys were like starting to get, like, I just felt, you feel the vibe.
Your gut
it's like an unsaid, like weird feeling. So it's like, I dealt with all that too.
I deal with the housewives.
But long story short, in summary, like I've, focused on like, I think just being obsessed with something, getting really good at something, becoming an expert at it, it's going to open up all kinds of opportunity and allow you to manifest so many other things in your life that don't even correlate with that specific thing. And I think in the long run, I've always manifested just being very successful. I grew up in like, my family never had much, like everything was like month to month, like very,
right.
Like we never,
the struggle is
we
real.
never got the nice stuff, So like, I think like I've always wanted to be the guy that changed that for my family. My brothers are doing great, but I want to make a fuck ton of money. Like, let's just be honest.
You're literally
I want to make a shit ton of money.
Big,
like I want to be the guy that does that. Like, and, I think like it's allowed me to, always kind of keep building on what I've like made and, created to just transition into other things like Vitamin Bar, the cold plunge studio. That was more of a passion project.
And your sunglasses
but it was my first business and this just happened this year where like, well, I built it a couple of years ago and I sold it this year.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
amazing.
Like that was like the first time, like a big like milestone for me to like let me know, like, hey, that's a real like. Obviously,
like I can build something and then sell it, which is
Yeah.
what you want to do. You always want an exit strategy.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to build something great. And like the cold plunge thing was a passion project of mine. I got really into it with the Wim Hof stuff, and I've always been on like interested in like the like biohacking, like how can you get better and like learning about that stuff. And I saw firsthand like what cold plunge could do for you. And I was like, I was like, how has nobody made like, I was like, cause I did the Wim Hof thing, I got obsessed with ice bath. And I was like, how is there nowhere I can just go and just do an ice bath real quick?
Yeah.
Like and I had the idea for like, probably like 3 or 4 years. And finally reached out to somebody in my network where I was like, told me the idea. And he's like, oh, I have like some real estate opportunities in Dana Point. And like, we just kind of put it together. And then
you guys have really expanded.
like I can confidently, there's a lot of places now doing cold water immersion, but I can confidently say that we were the first, like I made the first concept of a cold plunge studio.
No, it's beautiful.
Like nobody made that before. Yeah. And it was like, wasn't even like 2 months later.
What's it called again?
Now it's called Plunge Recovery and Performance in Dana Point. Go check us out. We got 3 cold plunges, like from 38 to 45 degrees. We have a PEMF mats. That's basically like the electromagnetic that affects your muscles. We have a hyperbaric chamber, red light therapy. We have the works in a sauna. So like, it's just a really good, the whole thing is like good vibes. You can be in and out or you can spend an hour and a half there. It's
Joe Rogan swears by cold plunge.
Well, so
a lot of people do. I mean,
like why is cold plunge so like?
Dr. Huberman was like kind of like really the guy that like allowed Joe Rogan to even probably got Joe Rogan on it.
Honestly. Joe Rogan's big. Like he's the dopamine release that cold water therapy does is crazy. Like,
because they said it's like if you have addiction problems, anything,
it's equivalent to. He said it's equivalent to doing like a line of cocaine when you walk out of it.
But it actually lasts longer than cocaine.
Yeah, and it'll last all day long.
It can last up to 3 or 4 hours. There's in fact, like if you get down to your like just under your chin. I'm not a scientist, so don't quote me on this stuff. But like, I've also had to research all these benefits because I own the studio.
How long what's your normal time frame that you go in the cold plunge?
I usually say 3 minutes, but if it's your first time, like you're in there for a minute and it's your first time, like you're still going to go, your body's going to go into fight or flight. You're going to get all those benefits. The longer you can like, there's like different things for different benefits. So like the longer, like they say to like create brown fat and burn, like if you're going there for fat burning process or properties, then they say like 20 minutes over the course of a week.
What temperature though?
Well, there's also a lot of like conflicting information on that. And I mean, some people say like anything under like 55 degrees is, but I'm like, you could feel the difference. It's like, if you're going to get in cold ass water, just make it work.
So what 47 degrees?
I personally think like around like anything under 50 is going to be a cold plunge for sure.
Oh, okay. So anything over.
But I think like if you're at a studio, like 45 and under.
Okay.
Yeah. It just depends on
really 45 and under.
Well,
so Keith, your cold plunge that I bought from you, I started using, and
yours is at 39, like 39.40. The one that you have,
right? But I'm right now at 43 degrees, and I can only do like a minute and a half. So I'm trying.
So it might be more beneficial for you to maybe go up to 44, 45 and do 2 or 3 minutes, so then like once that becomes like. You're getting used to that, and then go down in the temperature because I
Okay.
think people start to get like, they try to go for these like 8 to 10 minute marathons in the plunge. And it's like,
No
I get
way.
why they're trying to challenge themselves, but it's like,
I did 17 minutes at 39 and it there's a point where you just stop feeling it. Like you just get numb.
Well, I keep my hands
Yeah.
on my
I could've
hips
got
because I have
longer.
a warm hip. So I'm like, if I move my hands off my hips, I have to get out. So I just sit there.
That's
and
a
I'm like,
psychological thing though.
I'm
So
like,
it's also
Yeah.
the breathing, like you're saying, the Wim Hof.
well, and that's another thing too, that what I was about to say is like what people could do rather than staying for 15 minutes is go do it for 2 minutes and move your body around.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you create like this thermal barrier if you're just staying stagnant and still.
oh, so move your body.
Yeah.
around.
So if you just start moving your body around, it's like
it's
you're,
cold. It's
it's
cold.
like you're getting
cold.
in all
It's
over
cold.
again.
I mean, you
because
can't feel your feet when you get out. And like once you have like it's like a 2 minute,
Yeah.
220, like you can't feel your hands and your feet.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
at that
we
point,
have this one plunge in
push
our
through.
studio. It's a chili goat plunge. I think it's like a company that Michael Phelps is involved with, but it basically has jets, so you can't have a thermal barrier.
Right.
Okay, got it. So Austin, what is your, what's your next step? I mean, you've won everything. You're a super athlete. You're,
If I had the answer to that,
Move to
Elizabeth,
Dubai's second wife. Obviously.
what's your next step,
That's my wife.
Austin? Besides taking Karolina to go wake surfing
look,
over.
I mean, that's one thing. Like, that's one thing that's always been like. I listen to a lot of like successful entrepreneurs. I'm a sponge. I want to absorb information where I can, and like that's one thing that's always been a confliction in my life. Is like people are always like have a goal, hyper focus on it, and it's like I guess my problem is like I feel like I've kind of carved out my own little path and journey. Just like just even looking at like sometimes I look where I have to remind myself where I came from and just be proud of myself sometimes because I'm always like hungry for the next step.
Yeah.
That like I start to get jaded and like not realize like, hey, you got to be proud of yourself too to continue to manifest more. You got to be like,
You're a big
you have to be-
manifester. We talked
I
about
am
this.
big on that.
Yeah.
And
be careful what you manifest. Remember, we
That's
talked
right.
about this.
That's right.
Well, that's the problem with success too. Like once you become successful, it's like a drug. Like you want to become more successful and like
and I
do other things.
I
and
don't. I don't consider myself greedy. I kind of have like a place where I want to be, and like sometimes like when I'm not where I want to be, I get disappointed in myself. But you got to remember,
Because you're hard on yourself.
Yeah, I'm very self-critical. Very self-critical to the point that I could have the best golf shot unless that ball.
Oh yeah, you're a big golfer.
Oh,
So
my
by the
God.
way, Cinderella cakes. I met them at an Emmy party.
And they made us.
They
golf
made
balls.
you.
That's amazing.
No, they made you some balls.
That's awesome.
Some little
Those are beautiful.
They're
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah, for
You have a golf club so we could hit one of those? That would be a
And then
great.
He made
Hey.
your wife a little Tiffany one.
Oh,
so,
nice. That'd be
yeah.
a great little intro to the podcast, just smacking a ball. But I'm very self-critical. I can hit a great golf shot and like I've had buddies joke with me. It's like, dude, you'll figure out a way to like down. So I'm working on that part of it, just being like having better self-talk, like being grateful.
And being
for,
positive about yourself.
Also
and
just
what
like
you've done and
one
where
thing,
you're at.
one thing that I'm very big on is just like at night before I go to bed, like, I grew up very religious and I'm not religious anymore.
Catholic or?
But, all the churches.
Oh.
All of them. And I was baptized Lutheran, like, so which is Catholic. We call it
whatever,
Catholic
yeah.
light. But yeah, I was like, grew up in that. But one thing that stuck with me is just like, I almost like still pray at night and just think of like, give gratitude for all the little things I have. Like whether it's anything so small or minute, like my theory is that the more that you just come up with, the more like you're kind of like making the abundance magnet bigger. So like it could be anything as small as like, I'm just like thankful for my couch in my living room. I'm thankful for the TV I got.
Always
thankful for the
be
living room. I'm
grateful
thankful for my
for the little
dog, my
things.
wife, like my car,
have
my
to.
surfboards in
Yeah.
the garage. Like the more you can start, the more you
Yeah.
can start just listing that stuff off. Like the more you realize, like you're like subconsciously letting yourself know that you do have a lot to be thankful for, and that now magnetizes more.
Yeah. And living in Orange County is hard too because you see so much
Yeah,
grandiose personalities and
Yeah.
assets and things. And really, none of that matters at the end of the day. You die alone. Really, I mean, you have your hopefully you have family around
I mean,
you.
I think social
And-
media is
and-
a struggle too, because
Yeah.
like people are constantly in their phones seeing like it's a
that person
highlight.
has that house and that
I know.
Lamborghini.
It's a
and
highlight reel of everybody's life, and
Yeah.
like we do it. It's like our highlight reel, right? And it's like, like I start comparing myself, like, oh man, I should be in Fiji catching great waves, or I should be.
Yeah.
It's like I'm learning, like I'm golfing in San Juan right now. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like seriously, I think of that sometimes. I'm like, why the fuck am I golfing? I should be like foiling in Fiji or like fucking catching a wave and getting barreled. But you just gotta like just kind of try to go with the flow and stay in like a true line and
also be true to yourself with really what matters. Grounding yourself regularly is it's crazy. Living here, I have friends from the Midwest and Seattle. They're like, God, I could never live in Newport because everyone's so materialistic there. Well, okay, they are, but it's safe here for me. I enjoy it. I like it. I just like the environment. And I all that stuff, you have to kind of put blinders on and realize, okay, well, how much do you really need? There's always going to be somebody with more or that's
or
better.
better, right?
Yeah.
You're never gonna have the best.
And you're never
or-
going to have the
or
best of
you don't have the
anything.
best
So
anything.
when is enough enough? And when are you happy?
I've never understood the material thing of like trying to always get like, honestly, like money to me is freedom. So it's like, all I want is a fuck ton of money to have financial freedom. like I don't need it.
That's how it works.
Money doesn't matter. He's like, all I want is a fuck ton of money so I can be free.
It's to me like money, like I'm not gonna lie, like that, like we live in the world that's like freedom. Like you don't have to, you could be very free. I'm not saying you have to have money to be free.
Yeah.
But money gets you further, and
money helps.
it lets you sit further up in the front of the plane than in the back. Like,
I'm not saying that money doesn't matter, but money matters.
It does. And like, trust me, I've roughed it my entire life. And like the further I've gotten along, like more financially free I've gotten, like just the less stressful it is in so many different ways.
Oh,
and like,
yeah.
it's like, I'm not trying
You
to
can
have,
be free.
I don't need to have the nice, I have a great truck. Like if I had $1 billion tomorrow, like I wouldn't get a
Look at
different
Elon
car.
Musk. He doesn't own anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't
He
know
owns
anything.
rockets.
It's crazy.
All I need is just like to
Crazy.
be able to go where I want, have a couple nice houses where I want,
Yeah.
and do
You
what
ever
I
see
want.
that meme of
And also support my friends in their ventures and help them get ahead. That's like a big goal of mine too, you know.
Well, today's been a very enlightening day, and it was so cool to have both of you on. I
Very
think
cool.
we wanted to just have dudes on, and it was a little bit different today.
I mean, we really went a long way from dick pics to
Dick pics to
manifestation.
manifestation. But realistically,
That should be the title of the podcast.
dick pics to manifestation. But realistically, getting to know both of you and your background and where you came from and your branding skills and who you really are, and understanding from across the pond to here. And, you obviously Georgia to here, and Keith, you're all the way East Coast to here. I'm Midwest to here. We're all transplants, but, we live the California dream. We're here on a podcast.
Totally.
We're just enjoying it.
Yeah.
And we are the American dream, and we are what people aspire to be. And just to have your vision put out there to some young, here you got probably like a 9-year-old listening to you right now.
I hope there's not a 9-year-old listening to this podcast, but after what we just talked about. But let's just say I hope that there are like people out there like that as I do more podcasts and like talk about that's one thing people don't know about me is like my story. Like they literally think I'm from Laguna Beach or something, but like I do want to tell
from Georgia.
I want to tell my story more because like
sweet Georgia.
the odds are against me to be even where I'm at now, and yet I'm striving for more, right? So
Yeah.
like I think like
And you have a lot more because you're really young. So I mean,
I got time, but like I want to be able to enjoy it, So like I'm a believer that we don't know what happens after this life. You got to enjoy it while you got it, and
Amen.
get it done quick.
Yeah.
You don't
Exactly.
just work to die. So you want to just make sure that whatever you're doing, you enjoy, and that you.
But
have
also
like
giving back, and you're really good at sharing your story to give back. And this the story of rags to riches and perseverance, and you weren't really rags to riches. You have brothers. You have an ecosystem that helps you, and a lot of people don't have that. So you're very fortunate to have that. But and your mother struggled. She worked, and she she was like working during probably night shift, and then throwing you on surf competitions. So it's kind of like that whole balancing act of keeping the family together and really creating something from nothing. And you've done that. And you're creating what you've done, and you creating from where you've gone, and you've come, Hawaii, and you are a challenger. You really went from Poland to Hawaii. You stay with a host family. You've really gone around because I'd like to say we're all adventurers. We all like to kind of create that adventure for ourselves, but in a controlled manner. And today was such an enlightening day for so many people to understand that it's okay to be you. It's okay to be adventurous, okay to be crazy but also have it in a controlled sense where you understand your vision. So I think that your goal or your message to a lot of people watching this would basically be to understand your vision, right? Because you're like, oh, I want to do all this stuff, but really you have more goals.
Yeah, you don't have to have a specific goal because sometimes that might deter you from like other opportunities. Just like have like an overall grandiose vision of where you want to be, and you're gonna have opportunities in life that you got to take opportunities too, because sometimes life hands you stuff that
you're not expecting, right? Keith, you know this.
Yeah, just
yeah.
The universe.
Sometimes life hands you wife and then wife number 2 and 3 and 4 in Dubai.
A lot of them.
3 divorces all at the same time.
time.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming down for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, and you have a safe trip back to Dubai.
Yes,
I know
long flight.
we have so much more to talk about, but
16
next
hours
time
we're gonna throw her ideas. Next. We're throwing her some ideas for the.
you guys are going to collaborate in Dubai.
We'll send you a selfie when we're surfing.
You guys gonna be shocked once you
Send
see
us a
our
selfie,
videos.
and then we can't wait to have you back as well for your next venture. We know that Vita Bar is important. You also have sunglasses.
Oh yeah, we got the blenders.
You got the blenders
They're
going
one of
on,
my
which
great-
I have a pair.
They're one of my great sponsors. You look phenomenal.
I love the blenders.
These aren't my signature, but you are my signature better than I will.
They
myself.
were phenomenal. Try those on. Look,
Okay,
just
let me
try those
try.
on.
Oh, yeah,
Look at this.
Let's see.
Let's see how it looks.
Like, look at this.
Oh yeah, girl.
So
Why
those
do I
are
feel
so
like she could look
good
at
on
Penny
women.
sunglasses
Damn.
though?
Look at that.
That's legit.
No, seriously, women look so hot in your glasses. I'm
I
not
love
kidding.
them.
I will
Nice.
never give mine away. People keep trying to steal them. I'm like,
Blenders
no.
Eyewear Keen 20 get 20% off at the whole store.
Okay.
Keen 20.
Well, thank you for watching this episode. I'm Elizabeth Vargas.
Keith Maximilian.
Karolina Sankiewicz.
Austin Keen.
Stay tuned, like, follow, subscribe, support us on Patreon, and watch the next video. Peace, love, and happiness. Woo! Thanks, guys. I loved it. Woo! Let's all go jump in the cold plunge.
I know.
How was that? Good? All right. That was good job.